Hey, my name is Grant and welcome to my channel. If you've been hanging around here a lot, you'll know that I've been doing History of series, and I thought because Uncharted 4 is coming out and that the Nathan Drake collection has dropped, you can go check a link in the top right hand corner to purchase that. I thought it would be a good idea to do an Uncharted history. It's been around long enough for us to cover, so I thought that would be a great starting point. Before we start, I want to thank Sir Kennico for sponsoring this video, and if you are a fan of Uncharted, I want you to smash that like button. But without further ado, let's go. Uncharted Drake's Fortune. This game was the standout game of E3 2006. I can remember watching Sony's montage video for the PlayStation 3 and the brief cut of Uncharted flashed across the screen. And then me going, what was that? At the time, the game didn't even have a title yet, but everybody wanted to know what that Naughty Dog game was. Uncharted just looked unmistakably next generation. It looked like a game that needed PlayStation 3 power to work, and when the first adventure of Nathan Drake eventually dropped in Christmas of 2007, it convinced PlayStation 3 owners that they had made the right choice. The game was amazing. At the time, cover-based shooting was still a novelty, and Uncharted brought it to the PS3. But unlike Xbox's Gears of War, which was a shooter, Uncharted was also a fantastic platformer and puzzler. It even had a solid melee combat system that was sufficiently brutal without being gory. But more than that, the game featured the most amazing production values, from visuals to set pieces, to story, to sound design, and the voice acting? Nolan North became the de facto video game voice guy on the strength of this performance. Truly, no one knew who that guy was until Uncharted. Well, at least me anyway. Uncharted was just plain better than everything at the time. That is, until Uncharted 2 Among Thieves came out. We only thought Uncharted was a great game. The sequel managed the impossible by being so good that it made the earlier game seem only competent. Unbelievably, everything got better in Among Thieves. The game looked better. The combat was tighter. The climbing and level traversal was more fluid. And best of all, the game's performances and story were just on another level. It's arguable that this game was the game that solidified Naughty Dog as one of the most iconic studios in the world. Uncharted 2 did that thing that, for whatever reason, many video game studios had been chasing for a while, making that video game movie. Uncharted 2 really was like an action-adventure summer blockbuster that you played and didn't just watch. It was like Indiana Jones, but in your hands, like on a game controller. And what a story! Where the first game's tale was a basic but ridiculously well-acted action-adventure, the second one added some layers of substance on top of its treasure hunter's tale. We got to know Nathan a little bit more, delved into his past a little. We even got to see his grit and determination in play, and even his softer side with his love triangle between Elena and Chloe. Uncharted 2 is in all likelihood the greatest sequel ever made. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Uncharted 2 was so good and improved so much on the original that expectations were too high for the third. Was it a good game? Yes, phenomenally so. And once again, the combat was tight, exciting, and furious. Taking you through levels was just the right amount of frustrating, and even the stealth bits were pretty fun. You could say that the game might have been a little bit overhyped because of the previous one, but once you get over that hype and mismanaged expectation, Drake's Deception reveals itself to be a great game in its own right. I've already spoken about solid mechanics, but the game dabbles into the origin of Nathan Drake and his first meeting with Sully. It's a great story that could easily have been rubbish, since Nathan wasn't really a character that needed a fleshed out backstory anyway, but Naughty Dog made it work. Just goes to show how good they are. It's great because flashbacks to Nathan Jr. wasn't an origin story for its own sake. The narrative team linked it back to older Nathan in a way that taught you something about the character. It's pretty deep stuff. The game has an unfair reputation as being a weaker game than Uncharted 2, but that simply isn't the case. Uncharted Golden Abyss. The Golden Abyss is one of two games featuring the PlayStation's most awesomest treasure hunter that isn't available on the Nathan Drake collection for the PlayStation 4. Which is a shame really, because this PlayStation Vita exclusive deserved better than that beleaguered system was able to offer. Okay, look, honestly, it isn't as good as the main games, but as many reviews at the time can attest, it's nonetheless worthy of the franchise's amazing legacy. As expected, Nathan is chasing treasure, this time with his frenemy Jason Dante. Naturally, things go awry for Nathan and he ends up getting shot at, stabbed, and set on fire, thrown out of moving vehicles and other inappropriate stuff. It's a fun jaunt that more people should have played, but as things stand, it's not a critical piece of the puzzle. So, hey, you may not be missing out on much. Uncharted Fight for Fortune. Yep, you heard right, there's actually been 5 Uncharted games, also released for the PlayStation Vita. Fight for Fortune is better classified as a spin-off though, since it completely abandons the game's signature features. So there's zero combat, climbing stuff, or character development. Huh? Fight for Fortune is less an Uncharted game and more a card battler with strong affection for Nathan Drake and friends. So think Hearthstone minus all the World of Warcraft, but plus Nathan Drake and co. I have no idea if this game is worth your time or not since I've never played it, but I'm reasonably certain it's not an essential purchase. It might be cool just to dabble in if you love Uncharted. If it helps, it's got a Metacritic score of 67 out of 100, so that kind of tells you something. And that's the Uncharted series in a nutshell. Nathan Drake returns next year for the PlayStation 4 in a game that looks like it will match Uncharted 2 for pure spectacle and bomb blasting. But while you wait, go grab the Nathan Drake collection to play the original 3. You can check out the cards in the top right hand corner to link to purchase the game and a whole bunch of other cool video game stuff. Until the next video guys, high five a stranger! You gotta do that! Adios.